Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Star Wars The Acolyte. It's not looking so well. It's not looking so well for the show, for Disney. It's being absolutely torn apart. Pretty much everywhere, in fact. So this is just kind of chronicling its decline on Rotten Tomatoes and other websites. And if you notice over on the likes of Twitter, I know, weird thing to sort of quote, but it's important. Twitter, Star Wars account on Twitter, they're really pushing it hard. Really pushing it hard, but they don't. It's the sort of staggering lack of self-awareness that, you know, always amazes me about these people. The Twitter account has shared the power of one, power of two, the power of many.
Power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
Like weird feminist struggle session theatre performance thing they had in the show. Very bizarre. Very, very, very bizarre. And they're proud of it. Do you not realise that's being memed to oblivion? You know, like millions of views, people just hating on it. More views than the show. Right? No? No, of course not. So anyway, we'll take a look at stuff like this today. Please do hit subscribe, turn the bell notifications on. Follow me on Twitter as well, at Mr. Reviews. I've been blocked temporarily. My account's been locked because I said some naughty things to people. But follow me over on Twitter. Trying to get my, trying to get that up. And I do share videos over there, so if you don't get notified here, follow me on Twitter, at Mr. Reviews. Anyway, so, what we're working with, 84%. You know what, I'm surprised it's not higher. I am surprised it's not higher. I think it was for a while. But 84% of critics love the show. 16% of fans hate it. And that comes to us, amazingly, this sort of sliding scale, basically, with this show. Every single episode that gets released, it goes down lower and lower. So it's not just that, because it started low. I think it started somewhere in like the 30s or the 20s. You know, like a respectably bad, right? It was bad, but it wasn't like, this is god-awful bad. I mean, the show is god-awful, but it started not great. And then episode 3 was the episode which people were like, yeah, this is going to destroy Star Wars, right? That's what people were saying. Film Threat, Chris Gore, Andy No. That's what they were saying. It got released, and my god, it's just gone down. But not only that, it's gone down for the critics. So the audience has definitely slid down, but the critics have gone down. It's lost 10%. Right, as this article notes here. So the new Star Wars series, The Acolyte, is now streaming on Disney Plus, the first 3 episodes, and both the Rotten Tomatoes score and the audience score happen to put critics and fans on opposing scales. Yep, that's to be expected. But the interesting thing is, both sides agree that from episode 3 onwards, it's got significantly worse. So you've done something wrong there, Star Wars, haven't you? If even the shill critics are like, oh, this is, yeah, we're not liking this so much now. So, with 134 reviews presently accounted for, the Rotten Tomatoes score stands at 84%, down from 94% for the first 2 episodes. It was higher. It's gone down because the 3rd episode, it's all bad. But the 3rd episode was really, really bad. Really bad. And that's the comical part of this. So fans dislike the Star Wars series immensely, as the Rotten Tomatoes score audience has dropped to 16% with the release of the controversial 3rd episode from a previous 48%. And I thought it was in the 30s. It was way higher. 48% following the 2-episode premiere. I'm pretty certain at one point it was 30, and I was like, you know what? I did a video on it. I was like, that's the lowest rated Star Wars product of all time. Now it's at 16%. The more people watch it, the more people dislike it, the more people negatively review it. That goes for the critics as well. So The Acolyte has now the lowest Rotten Tomatoes audience score from Star Wars fans, lower than The Last Jedi and The Clone Wars. So for a comparison, the score for the previous Star Wars shows are as follows: Ahsoka, 86-69. Nice. Andor, 96-86. Andor was great, just no one watched it. Obi-Wan, 82-62. Boba Fett, 66-53. The Mandalorian, 90-78. The IMDb rating is also the lowest for Star Wars, currently at 3.7, with all 3 episodes released, down from 5.2 with the first 2 episode premiere. So it's just going down and down and down. So viewership ratings also seem to reflect fan discontent, as the Acolyte views is millions less than Ahsoka. And yeah, people are just not happy. It says first 2 episodes decent, then all downhill. An early reaction has offered that the first 2 episodes aren't all that bad, blah blah blah. This is what they previously said, and then it all goes downhill. But it's not just that either. Like, I mean, these are, and not all of these are bad, by the way. Like, not all of these are what you think just review bombing. There's a lot of well thought out points in here. But I will say, is there review bombing? I mean, there is review bombing because people have accidentally been review bombing. Well, I don't know if it's review bombing or not. I'm not sure. But basically, Acolytes is a movie or whatever, a thriller, something that has now been negatively reviewed. So I don't know. I mean, even here, if you're, I mean, I don't think it is review bombing. Actually, I just think it's people that are so pent up and quick to write their negative reviews, they haven't quite clocked where they're reviewing it. But it is funny nonetheless. Very, very funny, in fact. So this show, Acolytes, has been absolutely destroyed. Absolutely destroyed by, well, negative reviews, even though they reviewed the movie. But anyway, these ones are real bad. Like I said, these ones are, but well thought out as well. Don't waste your time. Not even on the trailer. You're welcome. Absolute disgrace of Star Wars. Disney's truly killed it. Unfortunately, even though I kind of enjoyed the first episode, I started worrying by the end of the second. To my unexpected shock, the third episode might be the worst thing that have ever happened to Star Wars in general. I'm not talking about the representation or something, because let's not forget that strong female characters are part of Star Wars in the beginning. Let's just talk about that's a long review, by the way, guys. It's not a small review. The sheer number of irregularities and errors that are in this show are too much to handle, from powers that can't be used to attack to then be used to attack other characters, from fire in space that looks like a campfire. Honestly, Disney just wants to make everything inclusive, which in theory is not a bad idea, but sadly the implementation here is abysmal. Again, thought out review. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many. How ridiculous. Once again, it seems multiple other factors were on the minds of the people making this show, with the one simple exception of good storytelling. Yes. Horrible plot. Ruin the Star Wars canon. Horrible acting. Directing. Writing. Disney's trash. Never reviewed on here before, but this is so awful I felt compelled to make an account and review this worst TV show I've ever seen. Even if I look at this show as not a Star Wars show and just the generic space fantasy, it's still horrendous. Worst writing I've ever seen. I mean, it is pretty bad. I'm sure there is some review bombs. I'm sure there is. But this is terrible. So funny. Episode 3, did it destroy Star Wars for you? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed this video, please do support me further via Patreon. It's the first link in the description box. It would really help me out. $2 a month, maybe 5, maybe 10. Help a brother out. Stop me from doing those crappy adverts that everyone else does. Cheers. Bye.